1. Rohingya refugees carry the belongings as they walk on the Bangladesh side of the NAF River after fleeing Myanmar on October 2, 2017, in Cox's Bazar, Bangladesh. More than 500,000 Rohingya refugees have fled an offensive by Myanmar's military that the United Nations has called a textbook example of ethnic cleansing. A refugee population is expected to swell further, with thousands more Rohingya Muslims said to be making the perilous journey on foot toward the border, or paying smugglers to take them across by water in wooden boats. Hundreds are known to have died trying to escape, and survivors arrive with horrifying accounts of villages burned, women raped, and scores killed in the clearance operations by Myanmar's army and Buddhist mobs that were sparked by militant attacks on security posts in Rakhine State on August 25. Kevin Frey Getty Images 2. A Rohingya refugee boy is carried in a basket by a relative after crossing the border on the Bangladesh side of the NAF River on Sept. 24. What the Rohingya refugees flee to is a different kind of suffering in sprawling makeshift camps rife with fears of malnutrition, cholera, and other diseases. Aid organizations are struggling to keep pace with the scale of need, and the staggering number of them, an estimated 60%, who are children, arriving alone. Bangladesh, whose acceptance of the refugees has been praised by humanitarian officials for saving lives, has urged the creation of an internationally recognized safe zone where refugees can return. The Rohingya Muslims have long been persecuted in predominantly Buddhist Myanmar. World leaders are still debating how to confront the country and its de facto leader, Aung San Suu Kyi, a Nobel Peace Prize laureate who championed democracy, but now appears unable or unwilling to stop the army's brutal crackdown. Kevin Frey Getty Images 3. A Rohingya refugee woman is helped from a boat as she arrives exhausted on the Bangladesh side of the NAF River at Shahpur DWIP on October 1. Kevin Frey Getty Images 4. Rohingya refugees carry the belongings as they walk through water on the Bangladesh side of the NAF River on September 28. Kevin Frey Getty Images 5. A Rohingya refugee girl wears a plastic bag as she walks in the monsoon rains at the Palonkali refugee camp on September 19. Kevin Frey Getty Images 6. A Rohingya refugee woman uses a candle to light her tent at the Palonkali refugee camp on October 1. Kevin Frey Getty Images 7. A Rohingya refugee boy desperate for aid cries as he climbs on a truck distributing aid for a local NGO near the Balukali refugee camp on September 20. Kevin Frey Getty Images 8. A Rohingya refugee man who was shot in the back by the Myanmar army is helped by a relative after crossing the border to the Bangladesh side of the NAF River on September 24. Kevin Frey Getty Images 9. Rohingya refugee boys study the Quran, Islam's holy book, at a madrasa, a religious school, on October 2. Kevin Frey Getty Images 10. Rohingya refugees build a new mosque at the Balukali refugee camp on October 2. Kevin Frey Getty Images 11. A Rohingya refugee woman sits exhausted after collapsing on a beach on the Bangladesh side of the NAF River at Shahpur DWIP on October 1. Kevin Frey Getty Images 12. A Rohingya refugee woman is carried by relatives near the border on the Bangladesh side of the NAF River on October 2. Kevin Frey Getty Images 13. Rohingya refugees desperate for aid crowd as food is distributed by a local NGO near the Balukali refugee camp on September 20. Kevin Frey Getty Images 14. A woman carries the body of a Rohingya refugee boy as others are seen wrapped in white sheets prior to burial after they died when the boat capsized while fleeing Myanmar on September 29. Kevin Frey Getty Images 15. An elderly Rohingya refugees woman sits outside her shelter in the sprawling Balukali refugee camp on September 22. Kevin Frey Getty Images 16. A Rohingya refugee washes at a well at the Palonkali refugee camp on September 26. Kevin Frey Getty Images 17. A Rohingya refugee woman holds her child as she stands outside her shelter at the sprawling Balukali refugee camp on September 27. Kevin Frey Getty Images 18. A Rohingya refugee family reacts as they disembark from a boat after arriving on the Bangladesh side of the NAF River at night on September 26. Kevin Frey Getty Images